When everything is against you, Real responds like royalty. Friends, in this episode, all the juiciest and most exciting updates from the heart of Real Madrid. We've got real news, hot insider info, top rumors, and even football gossip you won't want to miss. Which stars might leave? Who's ready to defy fate? And why is it time for Lunin to finally say goodbye to Madrid? Shocking injuries, unexpected transfers, backstage coaching drama, and game-changing decisions. It's all right here. Stay with us. The ending is one you won't want to miss. The situation in Real Madrid's defense is a real test for the team. But as is often the case with great clubs, it's in such moments that character is forged. In recent weeks, the club's medical staff has become one of the busiest departments, as several key players have suffered serious injuries. In the match against Getafe, Eduardo Camavinga was unlucky. He suffered a complete tear of the adductor tendon. He is out for the rest of the season and will miss the Club World Cup. A similar fate befell Ferland Mendy. A thigh injury has sidelined the Frenchman for at least 2.5 months. Antonio Rüdiger will also be unavailable in the near future. The German had been playing through pain for a long time, but now he has undergone surgery and received a 6-match suspension for his behavior in the Spanish Cup final. At the same time, David Alaba is once again dealing with knee issues, this time a meniscus tear. He faces surgery and possibly a return closer to the summer, if recovery goes well. All this is compounded by the usual injuries to Dani Carvajal and Eder Militao. Aurelien Tchouameni is on the verge of suspension. One more yellow card and he'll miss El Clásico. Lucas Vázquez is also suspended, but only in the cup. A small relief. Still, even with all these difficulties, the team isn't giving up. In the upcoming matches, Real can count on Jesus Vallejo, Fran Garcia, young Raúl Asensio, Lucas Vázquez, and Tchouameni, who can fill in at center-back if needed. Yes, the problems are plenty, but such challenges give a chance to those who usually remain in the shadows. And who knows? Maybe these circumstances will gift us a new breakthrough star in the Real Madrid lineup. History has proven time and again, heroes are born in times of crisis. And if there's one club that knows how to find order in chaos, it's Real Madrid. But the challenges for Real Madrid don't end there. Kylian Mbappe's participation in the upcoming match against Celta is now in doubt. The Frenchman is experiencing muscle discomfort after the Spanish Cup final, where he was forced to play through the entire extra time, despite the coaching staff's original plan to limit his minutes. The coaches didn't anticipate overtime, and this likely led to the overload. The club hopes the injury isn't serious, but no one is willing to risk the health of such a key player. Amid all these losses, fans are naturally asking, is it even worth continuing the fight for La Liga when the title chances are so slim? On one hand, it's a matter of pride and respect for the team and for the tournament. On the other, the club must look at the bigger picture, especially considering how exhausting the season has been for the squad physically. Special attention is now focused on Antonio Rüdiger's condition. According to El Confidencial, due to months of playing on painkillers, he has developed osteoarthritis, a condition usually associated with people over 40. Rüdiger is only 32. He has spent the entire season with his leg bandaged, playing through pain and never even skipping training. But the body has its limits, and if the diagnosis is confirmed, it could potentially end his career. Right now, the priority is to preserve his health and avoid further complications. It's clear that the current crisis is not only the result of bad luck, but also of poor planning. Back in the winter, it was obvious that the defense needed reinforcements, especially given Alaba's chronic injuries and the immense burden placed on Rüdiger. But the club chose not to strengthen the squad. And now they must rely on whoever remains. Yes, the team is facing enormous difficulties, but this is no reason to give up. Real Madrid is a club that has risen from the ashes time and again, turning crisis into triumph. And this is exactly such a moment. A moment when everyone who puts on the white shirt must be ready to rise above themselves. Rodrigo is close to saying goodbye to Real Madrid. After spending several seasons in the shadow of the club's main stars, The Brazilian forward seems to have finally realized that his role in the team will never be a leading one. Despite his undeniable talent, loyalty to the club, and crucial goals in important matches, Rodrigo has always been the second choice, overshadowed by the attention given to Mbappe, Vinicius, and Bellingham. According to the radio station Marca, Rodrigo's recent disappointment at not even making the top 20 in the Ballon d'Or rankings was a turning point. He realized that to fully unlock his potential, he needs a change of environment. The only person who could influence his decision, the source claims, is the club's expected future coach, Xabi Alonso. If Alonso sees Rodrigo as a key player in his project and gives him a special role, the forward might reconsider. Meanwhile, top Premier League clubs, including Liverpool and Manchester City, have already expressed interest in the player. Offers from Saudi Arabia are also on the table. Rodrigo has not yet made a final decision, but he has made it clear he does not intend to stay at Real without guarantees of status. As for the club's management, sources say they do not plan to hold on to the player at any cost. In fact, a potential sale of Rodrigo is being considered as a way to fund the upcoming midfield overhaul. The Brazilian remains a high-value asset, and under the current circumstances, parting ways may benefit both sides. Rodrigo's story at Real Madrid is nearing its end. He gave the club plenty, moments of magic and tireless dedication. But now, the time has come for a new challenge, where he can step out of the shadows and become a central figure. The story of Carlo Ancelotti's appointment as head coach of the Brazilian national team has suddenly taken an unexpected turn. It seemed everything was settled. The respected Italian manager was set to take charge of the Seleção this summer, right after the La Liga season ended. A verbal agreement had been reached, and Florentino Perez had even begun preparations for a farewell ceremony. Ancelotti's salary was set to be a record $10 million per year, with a contract extending until the end of the 2026 World Cup and an option to continue until 2030. However, on the evening of April 29th, the situation changed dramatically. According to Relevo, Ancelotti informed the Brazilian Football Confederation that he would not be able to start in June. The reason? Real Madrid refused to release him before the Club World Cup. Moreover, the club demanded that Ancelotti forego $11 million in compensation to leave early. For Ancelotti, such a condition was unacceptable. Despite his respect for Brazil and his desire to coach at the national level, the Italian is not willing to lose such a substantial amount. This wasn't about bonuses or a salary raise. It was the complete loss of an entire year's salary. Some recall that in the past he had already lost a contract extension with Real due to excessive demands. But this situation is entirely different. Following Ancelotti's refusal, the Brazilian Federation urgently began searching for an alternative, and the main candidate became Jorge Jesus. The Al Hilal manager, whose contract expires this summer, has expressed interest in leading the national team and is open to negotiations. However, such an appointment could spark a wave of criticism. Brazilian fans were already wary of a foreign coach, and the name Jorge Jesus doesn't inspire the same trust or admiration as Ancelotti's. Interestingly, a reversed scenario is now possible. Instead of coaching Brazil, Ancelotti could take over Jesus's position at Al Hilal. The Saudi club has reportedly made the Italian an astronomical offer, $50 million per year, several times higher than what Brazil offered. For now, Real Madrid has no plans to hand over the team to anyone else, even for the Club World Cup. According to Relevo, Santiago Solari could temporarily take the reins, while Ancelotti, despite all the rumors, remains officially part of the Madrid project. This story is clearly far from over, but one thing is already clear. There will be no fairy tale of Carlo in the yellow and green jersey. Real Madrid has made a decision regarding Andre Lunin's future, and it seems that future lies away from the Santiago Bernabeu. According to Mundo Deportivo, the club is planning to bring back Kepa Arrizabalaga as the backup to Thibaut Courtois. Lunin, according to the source, will be placed on the transfer list this summer. The reason is simple. The Ukrainian goalkeeper is unhappy with his role and wants regular playing time. something he never truly received at Real. The reality is that even a coaching change, whether it's Xabi Alonso or someone else, is unlikely to change the situation. Courtois remains the untouchable number one, and as long as the Belgian is fit, Lunin's chances are virtually non-existent. The club has proven this repeatedly in recent years, including when Courtois suffered a major injury. Even then, Real didn't trust Lunin to take the starting spot, opting instead to bring in a replacement from outside. The situation is further complicated by the fact that last summer, Lunin extended his contract, trusting the club's promises about his future. At the time, he had an opportunity to leave. Several clubs were interested, and his expiring contract made a move easier. But Real acted preemptively, keeping him in a deep rotation role. Since then, interest in the goalkeeper has declined, and so has his market value. While he was once valued at $25 million, the current estimate is around $20 million, and that might drop further. One potential destination for Lunin is Inter Milan. The Italian side is looking for a successor to Jan Sommer, and Lunin is being considered as a possible replacement. That could be a great move. A top league, a serious club, and, most importantly, a real chance to prove he deserves to be a number one. As for Real Madrid, the club no longer sees long-term value in Lunin. He was originally signed as a backup option, and now they're ready to let him go to raise funds for reinforcements, particularly in midfield. Considering Courtois could play for several more years, Lunin simply has no future in Madrid. Even in a hypothetical scenario without Courtois, the club would likely look elsewhere again. So parting ways with Real Madrid isn't a defeat. It's a step forward. Being an important player in a smaller club is better than being a forgotten name at a giant like Real. And it feels like Lunin has finally come to that realization. And now, after hearing every twist of this royal drama, here's the real question. Who will rise as the hero in this chaos? Real is once again at a crossroads, and soon we'll see who stays, who leaves, and who shines with renewed fire. Subscribe, leave a like, and don't miss our next episodes. The best is yet to come, because this is Real Madrid, and here it's never boring. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video, and be sure to watch our previous video. It just appeared before your eyes right now. See you. Good luck to everyone. Goodbye.